Welcome to the Weekend's Overrated. It's your host, Don Dollar. Thanks for all those who are tuning in. This is our inaugural episode one of many. I want to start off with diving into, name of the show, kind of some of the things we're going to be going over, covering. So, the Weekend's Overrated. When you think about it, um, in my opinion, a lot of people they skip the journey and then they romanticize about the destination. And that's the same thought process as I feel like, people apply to everyday life as it pertaining, the 7 days that we have in a week. People dread Monday. They hate Wednesdays. They show Thursday a little bit of love, but when Friday come around, it's like, they have a slogan. It's called Thank God It's Friday. Well, I like to say Thank God It's Monday because what people, I think, have a delayed understanding in is that it's all about the journey. The destination is just a cherry on top. So, far as the Weekend's Overrated goes, our slogan is real things in real time. We want to put a real strong emphasis on, discussing relatable topics like all the gossip, celebrity stuff, sports stuff. We're going to leave that to the side. And we're going to dive more into, like I said, relatable things, childhood, adulthood, some relationships. We're not going to be heavy on relationships. So just to, and just to give a broad overview of what the episode structure will be. So we will do the episodes in threes. Our first segment it'll be titled "What Did We Learn?" And then we'll have A block and B block, basically segment one and segment two and segment three. So our first "What Did We Learn?" First episode, right? So, and just to give a little bit of context on the "What Did We Learn" slogan, there has been, I don't know, more examples than one can remember of different instances that happened throughout life and my immediate thoughts, when those situations were resolved or over. And it's like, what did I learn? Like, when you might have been doing something you ain't supposed to do and you luckily skate by well something that could have been a lot worse and your first thoughts is, whew, man, but then you get to thinking like, what could I have done better, or what am I going to do in the future if this comes up? So that's kind of what this segment is based in. Because like I said, me personally, I got 1,001 stories, examples throughout my time, and even individuals that I know. So today's "What Did We Learn" moment is dedicated to my oldest son, Christopher Jr., who is 5, turning 6 this year. So for him, the "What Did We Learn" moment was how not to give up. And for him, it was something where he doesn't even understand the gravity of it. So I'll dive more into it. So when he was just in the womb, I want to say anywhere between 15 to 20 weeks, the ultrasound started to show some unfavorable things as it pertains to his health and how he would navigate quality of life once he was born. And not to mention, this was during like early COVID 2020 days. This was like March, yeah, around about March. So after seeing the ultrasounds, we had Zoom calls with medical professionals from New York all the way to California. And we started to see that it was a consensus recommendation to terminate the pregnancy. And me personally, I never really bought into you know that idea. For me, seeing the ultrasound, seeing him moving, seeing his heart beating, that kind of gave me all I needed to know, because I didn't see anything, just for with my understanding and how they were explaining things. I didn't see anything that led me to believe that that was the course of action that we should pursue. So for me, I said, I hear all of the, possibles, because none of the information that they were giving us was concrete. These were all, hypotheticals. So, you know, after, we gather all the information, we're sitting in like a big boardroom, and I think it was doctor, nurse, either or, she kind of like was really pushing for termination of the pregnancy. And, it was dressed up in, health concerns and quality of life. It was dressed up in a lot of that. But I don't know, something about that situation, it just, I kind of went with my gut. My gut told me to see it through. And that's, a part of this, what did we learn segment of not giving up on something or yourself and seeing things through. So for me, seeing it through was, allowing my unborn child, a chance at life. And here we are going on 6 years later, none of the issues or quality of life concerns that, they were, pumping, into our minds even came to fruition, young, intelligent, vibrant, energetic young man. And, that's just something that, I kind of hold, close, just that example, because, day in and day out, doctor's office visits, Zoom calls, COVID going on, all the things that were going on in the world, to be able to navigate that situation and, come out favorably was something that always sticks with me. So, what did we learn? We learned not to give up. We learned to, trust your instincts, make informed decisions, and obviously pray for the best outcomes and stay locked in.